Hey survivors, big news! Winter Survival has officially reached version 1.0 and its Frozen Nightmare is now fully live. After months, years even, of early access testing, community feedback, and system overhauls, Drago Entertainment is dropping the final chapter of the story, and it's intense. So what does this 1.0 release actually mean? And should you jump in now? Let's break it down. So first things first, the story is finally complete, and honestly, this is the biggest win of the 1.0 launch. Winter Survival has always been about more than just freezing to death in the woods. It's about psychological breakdown, survival guilt, and the way isolation messes with your mind. And now that the final chapter is in the game, everything connects. No spoilers, but here's the vibe. Your character's crash into the wilderness is no accident. There are now fully voiced cutscenes tying together what happened to the people who were with you. The hallucinations? Yeah, they're worse. And the ending actually feels earned now, not like that abrupt early access cliffhanger. The story in 1.0 is around 10 to 15 hours depending on how many times you freeze, starve, or get hunted down by wolves, and trust me, it will happen. This is easily the most polished narrative Drago has produced so far, and the tone stays dark, grounded, and very realistic. Winter Survival's animals have always been terrifying, but in 1.0, they've been tuned to feel way more realistic. Wolves no longer behave like heat-seeking missiles. Bears no longer teleport behind you like some anime villain. Deer? Still useless. Still run away like you owe them money. But here's the big change. Animals now react to injuries, weather, and noise. This makes encounters way more dynamic. Wolves circle you, test your defenses, and don't instantly rush like before. Bears are tankier, but slower, meaning you can actually escape one without sacrificing 80% of your stamina bar. You can track injured animals through blood trails, which is a huge improvement from early access. The devs said they overhauled animal aggression logic, and honestly, it shows. Encounters feel less cheap and more like tense mini-boss fights. The survival systems. Hard, but fair. This game still does not hold your hand. Let's be clear. If you don't like checking your temperature every 3 minutes, crafting sticks into sticks, or praying the wind doesn't kill your campfire, this game may not be for you. But if you love hardcore survival, you're in heaven. Here are the biggest improvements for 1.0. Better weather transitions. Blizzards don't appear out of nowhere anymore. You get visual cues, sound cues, and even animal behavior warnings. Improved crafting and base building. Crafting finally makes sense. The UI has been cleaned up, recipes are clearer, and you don't scroll through 200 useless items. And yes, base building actually matters now. Shelters protect you better, storage is cleaner, and you can make actual multi-step upgrades. Needs and psychology overhaul. This is the coolest part. Your character keeps trauma, and how you handle stress changes your gameplay. Stay in the dark too long? Panic attacks. Eat bad food? Trust me, don't. Run from too many fights? Confidence drops, making encounters harder. Sleep well, stay warm, your character recovers mentally. This is what makes Winter Survival stand out from other survival games. You're not just managing hunger, you're managing your mind. The endgame has been expanded with new areas, new story puzzles, new enemy behaviors, and a final section that actually tests everything you learned. Without spoiling anything, just know your choices really matter now. Not in the telltale they will remember that way, but in the you made the wrong call and now you're dead way. The devs reworked the pacing so the last few hours feel like a slow burn into chaos rather than a rushed finish. If you were disappointed by the early access story, this version fixes that. Performance, better, but not perfect. Alright, let's talk honestly. Does Winter Survival 1.0 run perfectly? No. But compared to early access, this is a completely different game. Improvements. FPS is more stable. Snow effects no longer tank performance. Loading screens are faster. Fewer crashes. Better controller support. Fewer weird animations where wolves moonwalk towards you. Still not perfect. Occasional frame dips during storms. some animation glitches, a few rare bugged quests. But overall, the 1.0 version is way smoother than what we had before. The sound design in Winter Survival is doing all the heavy lifting. You hear every branch snap in the forest. Every gust of wind feels like it cuts through you. And when you hear wolves in the distance, your brain immediately switches to panic mode. The atmosphere has always been Winter Survival's strongest feature, and 1.0 just pushes it further. More ambient sounds, more variation, and better directional audio. Play this game with headphones. Trust me. Quality of life improvements. There are actually a ton of tiny things the devs tweaked for 1.0. Here are the ones that matter. Hotkey management is cleaner. Inventory stacking makes sense now. Crafting queues are faster. Stamina drains more logically. You can now cancel actions without breaking the entire game. Leaning works properly. Fire lasts longer depending on wood type. Footprints in the snow are more detailed. Small things, but they add up. So here's the big question. Is Winter Survival finally worth buying? Honestly, yeah. If you like hardcore survival, this is the version to play. The 1.0 launch fixes story completeness, performance and balance, crafting clarity, animal AI, pacing, and the psychological system that makes the game unique. If you hated the early access jank, this update might surprise you. If you were waiting for the full release is here. And if you love games like The Long Dark, Green Hell, or Sons of the Forest, Winter Survival fits into that lineup. It's still tough, still punishing, still occasionally unfair, but now it feels like the finished, polished version we were all waiting for. Winter Survival 1.0 is a rare example of early access done right. It listened to the community, fixed the rough edges, expanded the story, and delivered a final version that actually feels final. It's intense, atmospheric, challenging, and genuinely scary at times. Not because of monsters, but because winter itself is the monster. If you've ever wanted a survival game that respects your intelligence and punishes your mistakes without feeling cheap, this one is absolutely worth diving into today.